I warmly welcome you back to the part 4 of Kate's account from the Rape Gang Inquiry Report. Pardon me, don't get tired. We have to do this because the voices of those children should be echoed around the world. So come with me as we get into this part. We stopped where she had met another girl younger than herself who was being abused as well. Throughout the first half of the next year, the exploitation intensified, and Kate made another attempt to take her own life. Shortly afterwards, she entered into a relationship with a relative of one of the gang members, leading to a temporary pause in the abuse. The relationship lasted for almost a year, but when it came to an end, the exploitation resumed almost immediately. Later that year, Kate, then 16, experienced the most significant missing episode to date. During this incident, the gang trafficked Kate to a town far from her home, where she was restrained and raped repeatedly on a canal boat, including she alleges by a police officer. At one point, Kate tried to escape, but was caught and the gang beat her and cut off much of her hair as punishment. Kate attempted to escape a second time and was successful. She reached a nearby house and knocked for help. The woman who lived there took Kate in and gave her clothes, as Kate's own clothes had been badly damaged by the abusers and she was partially naked. The woman called the police, who attended the property. The woman attempted to remove the rope that had remained around her wrists, but was instructed by the police to leave them in place as they were considered evidence. Yeah. Kate was hesitant to speak to the police, given both the recent alleged abuse by a serving officer and the wider context of threats, coercive control, and physical and sexual violence that she had been experiencing. Nevertheless, she disclosed what had happened on the canal boat, but not the historic exploitation, fearing reprisals, to the police. She also did not report that she had been raped by a police officer. The investigation did not progress, and the police accused Rape of lying about the exploitation. This represented a turning point in Kate's dealing with the police, as she thereafter felt that she could not turn to them for help, fearing she would not be believed. Kate was placed in a child protection plan by the local authority. She shared a diary with one of the social workers containing details about the sexual abuse she had been suffering, though once again she was not believed. During this period, Kate was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. Soon after, Kate alleges that she was raped in a hotel by a man she believed to be a doctor. The police were called to the hotel as the staff were concerned that she was a prostitute. When the police arrived, she was found alone and naked in the room, having been left there by the abusers and instructed to wait for more men to arrive. At this point, both Kate's family and the professionals involved in her care began to express frustration with what they perceived to be her lifestyle choices. They did not believe that she was being exploited and instead assumed that she, still 16, was willingly meeting adult men. This misinterpretation of Kate's situation had a profound impact on how professionals responded to her in the following months and years. Because they believed her behavior was voluntary, subsequent incidents such as unexplained absences, being found in hotels, receiving inappropriate messages, or associating with adult men were treated as matters of personal choice rather than indicators of ongoing exploitation. As a result, these events were not treated as safeguarding concerns. Instead of exploring the possibility that she was being coerced or controlled, professionals increasingly framed the issue as one of behavioral difficulty, risk-taking, or non-compliance. This perspective, Kate alleges, influenced decision-making across agencies. Referrals were closed permanently. Safeguarding meetings did not lead to protective action, and disclosures or partial disclosures were not pursued with the seriousness she felt they required. The assumption that she was engaged in consensual activity meant that professionals did not intervene effectively, even when the circumstance strongly indicated exploitation. This perspective reinforced her isolation, reduced her ability to seek help, and ultimately allowed the exploitation to continue and escalate. On one occasion, around this time, Kate's concerns were raised at Kate's school. She was escorted to an office where the assistant head teacher, the designated safeguarding lead, a police officer, her social worker, the school nurse, and head of year were present. They prevented her from leaving the room and pressed her for names and details about the individuals involved in the abuse. At that time, due to fear, coercion, and the threats she felt she was under, she did not feel safe or able to provide the information they were requesting. Instead, she provided the names of some of the individuals involved. Kate was visibly shaking and repeatedly asked to leave, explaining that she would be in significant danger if she revealed further information. After the meeting concluded, Kate was allowed to leave, but no protective measures were put in place. She was not supervised, safeguarded, or provided with any immediate safety planning. Despite indicators of fear and cohesion, she was permitted to return home and continue her usual routine. No follow-up action was taken or monitor her well-being in the days that followed. That the systemic failure, epic failure of everybody. I can't imagine how children were snatched from their parents if the child lied to the school about anything at all. I remember a child who simply told the school that the mother used to tell her just threats verbally that I'll lock you in a dark room. And the school wanted to have words with the parents. But here, clear, apparent, overt abuse, exploitation, rape of minors. But every single authority involved turned a blind eye. Tell me this was not demonic, intentional, planned, paid for. I'll see you again soon.